lot of crazy items in Dungeons & Dragons, from insanely powerful swords to cloaks with unlimited pockets, which is just elven cargo shorts, by the way. Magic items are a staple of the game. But among those many crazy items, there is one that is designed entirely based off the principles of fear, and it is lurking beneath our very noses. You see, the most powerful items in D&D on paper are legendary items, and powerful they are, but legendary items are also kind of properly balanced for the most part. You only really give them to a party that is already so overpowered that, you know, doesn't matter, that's quite the same amount. Would you like to draw from the deck of many things? If you want the campaign to be over, you can just say so. But it's not the legendary items that are generally the issue. This is a side note, but I once gave my party a Staff of the Python and then spent the next 10 sessions actively trying to kill that fucking snake. I swear to God, that thing is mislisted everywhere online, and that is not the animal that staff is supposed to turn into. I digress. Listen, I know it's a rare item. I'm still digressing. I know it's a rare item, but like, rare is the second most common item. Also, you can use it in every single combat, which is kind of the crux of this video. That the items that are truly overpowered are the ones that you can use kind of anywhere. And because of that, it's not the legendary items that are truly insane, it's the uncommon items, or the common item. Uncommon is the most common. You know what I'm talking about. What's the first item that you give your D&D party? Probably something that doesn't unbalance combat encounters, that makes sure that you don't have to worry about something like encumbrance, that the whole party can kind of share, right? That's why the first item I essentially always give my parties is a bag of holding. An absolute staple of low-level adventuring, the bag of holding is basically an extremely boring TARDIS with some caveats. One very important caveat. Here's a stat block. I'm going to read it as fast as I physically can, then speed it up in post so it seems like I'm reading even faster than I am, just so everyone is on the same page. Bag of holding, wondrous item, uncommon. This bag has an interior space considerably larger than its outside dimensions, roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep. The bag can hold up to 500 pounds, not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet. The bag weighs 15 pounds regardless of its contents. Retrieving an item from the bag requires an action. If the bag is overloaded, pierced, or torn, it ruptures and is destroyed, and its contents are scattered in the astral plane. If the bag is turned inside out, its contents spill forth unharmed, but the bag must be put right before it can be used again. Breathing creatures inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures, minimum 1 minute, after which time they begin to suffocate. Placing a bag of holding inside an extra-dimensional space created by a handy haversack, portable hole, or similar item instantly destroys both items and opens a gate to the astral plane. The gate originates where the one item was placed inside the other. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate is sucked through it to a random location on the astral plane. The gate then closes. The gate is one way only, can't be reopened. That's pretty good. So, in short, don't put a bag of holding in a bag of holding. Why? It'll explode, kind of. Send people to the astral plane, potato, potato. But why do they do this from a game design perspective? Well, the obvious answer is that you could end up with virtually unlimited storage space if you just kept stacking bags of holding inside bags of holding. You know, you take a bag of holding, you fill it with bags of holding that are filled with bags of holding, and it's one of those, you know, curves. You got too much storage space. You got enough bags of holding, you could theoretically drain an ocean relatively easily. And Xanathar's puts bags of holding, that sentence was correct. Xanathar's puts bags of holding at around 400 gold pieces. All uncommon items are around 400 gold pieces. And for a level 5 or 6 party, that's already pretty cheap. So let's avoid giving a D&D party access to near infinite storage space and instead give them the opportunity to one-shot any enemy. How is storage space more broken than launching things into the astral plane? Also, the bag has a very specific mouth size, so it's not like you can just chuck dragons in there and suffocate them. Like, you can't get most things into the bag of holding. So it wouldn't have been a big deal to be able to just have a lot of storage space. Now, I know the astral plane isn't really just an instant kill, but a lot of very high level enemies do not have the ability to plane shift. They wouldn't be able to get back. So the function of it, in the scheme of most D&D campaigns, is eliminating them entirely. And as we've seen, the way that that bag of holding is written, you don't have a recourse. You don't have a saving throw. Legendary resistance doesn't matter. You just get sucked through the portal. It doesn't even say how big the portal is. It just says all creatures within 10 feet are sucked through the portal. Doesn't matter what size, you're gone. Very easy recourse to this, and we have to say it. You give your party a bag of holding, and then they just never see one again. Magic shops pretend they don't know that it exists. It's not looted anywhere. You avoid, you know, random encounter table rolls so that it doesn't crop up accidentally. And you have to keep in mind that handy haversacks and portable holes also create that crazy dimensional rift, so you just, you know, ignore all of those items as soon as you give your party a bag of holding. Additionally, there's the implication that if they had 2 bags of holding, you would need one of the party members to sacrifice themselves in order to open this instant kill portal. To which I would say, I have never met players that would be unwilling to sacrifice an NPC to do that instead. Quick charm spell and off they go to open a dimensional rift on top of the dragon. All that to say, I think the design choice behind giving bags of holding the ability to open a dimensional rift is insane, but I love it. It's my favorite item in the game, and we need more of it. 95% of the time, this item is just useful and neat and takes some weight off of your planning mind. And that's good, and that's fun. And then the remaining 5%, it's just chaos. It's just parties trying to figure out how they can use 2 bags of holding to eliminate the big boss of the campaign. It's craziness, and that's the most fun part of D&D. Also, it's chaos that you get a little bit of control over, because you get a say in when your party finds that second bag of holding, or handy haversack, or portable hole. Which means you get to say when they even have the opportunity to begin thinking about the chaos that could ensue. And at the end of the day, D&D is all about giving your party the ability to create chaos, or them taking it even when you don't want it to be taken. That's D&D. So, if you haven't already, give your party a bag of holding. If you've given your party a bag of holding, but not given them a second bag of holding, start thinking about when you could give them a second bag of holding. And if you're someone that loves designing magic items, start trying to introduce just a touch of chaos potential into every single magic item you design. Every single one. Because at the end of the day, what's the point in carrying around a knapsack unless that knapsack has the potential to send a dragon to the quantum realm? Food for thought.